Losing a spouse is one of the most painful experiences a person can go through. It's not just the emotional weight of grief. It's the overwhelming number of decisions that suddenly fall on your shoulders. In times like this, it's easy to make choices out of pain, loneliness, or pressure from others. However, some decisions can lead to unnecessary regrets, financial difficulties, or even emotional setbacks that make healing even harder. The truth is, while grief is personal, there are certain things you should always think twice about before saying yes to them. In this video, we'll discuss 5 things you should say no to after losing a spouse, mistakes that many people unknowingly make only to realize later that they weren't truly ready. These are the pitfalls that can make an already difficult time even more complicated. By knowing them in advance, you can protect your emotional, financial, and physical well-being. Stay with me until the end, because these insights aren't just about avoiding mistakes. They're about making sure you navigate this chapter of your life with clarity, dignity, and the support you deserve. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Making big financial decisions too soon. One of the most common mistakes people make after losing a spouse is rushing into major financial decisions. Suddenly, you're faced with bank accounts, insurance policies, investments, and possibly even the question of whether to keep or sell your home. In the midst of grief, it can feel like taking immediate action will provide stability or a sense of control, but the reality is that grief clouds judgment, and making irreversible financial choices too soon can lead to regrets down the road. When emotions are running high, decisions that seem logical in the moment might not be the best for the long term. Many widows and widowers feel pressured by well-meaning friends, financial advisors, or even their own sense of urgency to sell their house, move to a new location, or make large investments. However, the months after losing a spouse, a time of emotional adjustment, are not the right time for financial risk-taking. The smartest move you can make is to pause. Give yourself time to process your loss before making choices that could affect the rest of your life. Take the case of 74-year-old Margaret. After losing her husband, she was told by multiple people that she should downsize her home immediately. The idea made sense: less space to maintain, lower expenses, and a fresh start. So, within a few months, she sold the house they had lived in for 40 years and moved into a smaller apartment in a different town. But once the shock of loss settled, she realized she had made a decision out of panic. She missed her familiar surroundings, her neighbors, and the sense of comfort her home provided. In hindsight, she wished she had waited longer before making such a big move. Financial decisions don't just involve real estate. Many newly widowed individuals are targeted by financial predators, people who see vulnerability as an opportunity. Whether it's unsolicited investment opportunities, high-pressure sales tactics, or even well-intentioned but uninformed advice from friends, it's crucial to be cautious if someone is urging you to sign papers, make a major withdrawal, or invest in something quickly. Take a step back. The best financial decisions are rarely the ones made in a rush. Another common mistake is giving away money or assets too quickly. Grief often brings a strong desire to help others: children, grandchildren, charities, or close friends. While generosity is a wonderful thing, making large financial gifts or dividing assets prematurely can leave you in a vulnerable position later on. What seems manageable in the moment might not be sustainable in the years ahead. Before making any major financial moves, it's best to consult with a trusted professional who understands your long-term needs and can help you plan wisely. The first year after losing a spouse should be about stabilization, not drastic financial changes. Experts often recommend the 1-year rule, which suggests waiting at least a year before making any irreversible financial decisions. This allows time for the initial emotional shock to pass and for you to think clearly about what's truly best for your future. Number 2. Isolating yourself from friends and family. In the wake of losing a spouse, the desire for solitude can be overwhelming. It's natural to seek refuge in silence, believing that isolation might offer some protection against the storm of emotions. However, true healing often comes from the connections we foster with others, a truth that resonates deeply with anyone who has ever experienced loss. In those quiet, lonely moments, our hearts ache for understanding and support. Sometimes, a shared memory or a listening ear can become the lifeline that gently guides us back toward warmth and understanding. Consider Walter's story, a 78-year-old man who, after losing his wife of 52 years, retreated into isolation. He stopped answering phone calls and skipped family gatherings, feeling that perhaps no one could understand the depth of his sorrow. Yet as the days passed, the silence began to take its toll on his spirit and his health. Then one day a caring neighbor reached out with an invitation for a quiet cup of coffee, a simple act that slowly rekindled his connection to the world. That small moment of genuine human contact opened the door to renewed conversations, shared laughter, and the possibility that healing might come gradually through everyday interactions. That neighbor's kindness was more than just a friendly gesture. It was a reminder that even small interactions can spark a renewed sense of hope. When we open ourselves to the warmth of community, we find that our experiences are shared by many. There is a common thread that runs through the stories of aging, loss, and renewal, a thread woven by life lessons from the elderly that teaches us the power of connection and compassion. These moments of empathy remind us that each act of kindness plants a seed of recovery, blooming over time into relationships that nurture our souls and make life's burdens easier to bear. Ask yourself, can a single act of kindness bring light to even the darkest days? The answer is a resounding yes. Whether it's a phone call, a gentle smile from a friend, or the quiet support of a community group, these interactions remind us that we are not alone. They bring moments of joy, uplift our spirits, and help us to rebuild our lives step by step. Each kind word or thoughtful gesture builds bridges over our loneliness, creating pathways toward renewed purpose and inner strength that can slowly illuminate even the most shadowed corners of our hearts. In our time together, I encourage you to reach out, to share your thoughts, your memories, and your dreams. The connections we create are powerful, capable of turning sorrow into strength and loneliness into community. Here, in this calm space, let the gentle rhythms of supportive music and peaceful visuals guide you toward the realization that together we can find hope and happiness. By opening your heart to others, you invite healing energy into your life, forging bonds that remind you that every shared experience enriches our journey, turning grief into a chapter of growth and tender understanding. If you're still watching this video and find these insights helpful, please leave a comment with number 2 to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and click the bell to stay updated on our future videos. Your support allows us to continue sharing thoughtful content that informs and inspires. Thank you for being with us on this journey. Number 3. Ignoring your own health and well-being. Grief can be all-consuming, and in its grasp, it's easy to let self-care slip to the wayside. When you lose a spouse, your focus can turn entirely to the overwhelming pain of loss, and everyday routines may begin to fall apart. You might skip meals, forego doctor appointments, or neglect the simple acts of caring for yourself that once brought comfort and joy. In addition, the relentless tide of sorrow can cloud your vision, making even the smallest daily rituals feel burdensome, while the weight of memories sometimes overshadows the need to care for your own well-being. Yet, our bodies and minds deserve the same tenderness and attention we offer to our memories. Think about James, an 81-year-old man who stopped cooking for himself after his wife passed away. At first, he believed that his diminished appetite was simply part of the grieving process. However, as time went by, his energy waned and his health began to suffer noticeably. It was only when his daughter gently encouraged him to resume making simple, nutritious meals and shared stories of better days that James slowly started to reclaim his strength and zest for life. rediscovering hope in small, everyday victories. This is not just about physical health, it's about nurturing your entire being. Taking care of yourself is a profound act of self-respect and love, one that honors the legacy of your past while paving the way for a brighter future. It's a message echoed in many life lessons from the elderly. To care for oneself is to honor your memories and create space for new joys. By prioritizing your well-being, you open up a sanctuary within, where hope, laughter, and the promise of tomorrow can gently take root. Imagine each healthy meal, each short walk, and every moment of rest as a step toward reclaiming the vibrant life that still awaits you. Even amid the deepest grief, these small acts of self-care serve as affirmations that you are worth every effort. They become a reservoir of strength, helping you face the challenges of aging and loss with a calm heart, a renewed spirit, and the quiet confidence that each day offers new opportunities for growth. So, I invite you to consider, what small act of self-care can you embrace today that honors your unique journey and nurtures your inner light? Reflect on the wisdom of life lessons from the elderly, which remind us that our well-being forms the foundation upon which all other joys are built. Let each thoughtful gesture toward self-care be a stepping stone toward a future where healing and happiness walk hand in hand with every new sunrise. Number 4. Rushing into a new relationship. The void left by a beloved spouse is profound, and the desire to fill that space with companionship is entirely natural. The thought of finding love again can evoke both excitement and fear, a reminder that our hearts are capable of healing, even if the process is slow and sometimes uncertain. In the quiet moments of reflection, you may feel the pull of memories while also longing for connection. Every heartbeat whispers that life still holds promise and warmth waiting to be discovered, even after such a deep loss. Take the story of Barbara, a 72-year-old woman who, only months after losing her husband of nearly 50 years, sought comfort in a new relationship. At first, the attention and affection offered by her new companion provided a temporary balm for her aching heart, easing the loneliness with gentle smiles and kind words. But as time went on, Barbara began to feel that something was missing, a deeper connection that resonated with her soul. The new relationship, born from the urgency of loneliness, lacked the depth and stability that true healing demands. In her heart, she knew that she wasn't ready, not yet, to fully embrace a new love without first honoring the memory of her past and the beautiful life she had once shared. This experience serves as a gentle reminder. New relationships should be a celebration of who you are and the rich tapestry of your life experiences. They should not be rushed or treated as a quick fix for the loneliness that follows loss. Instead, allow your heart the time it needs to mend and grow. Embrace every conversation, every shared laughter, and every quiet moment of understanding as a stepping stone toward rediscovering your inner strength. Let each new connection be a gentle chapter that enriches your story, rather than a hurried escape from grief. Reflect on this thought. How can embracing the journey of healing prepare you for new, meaningful relationships in the future? The answer lies in taking your time to understand your true self, cherishing every lesson learned along the way. Recognize that every step you take is an act of self-respect and genuine care, a process that builds the foundation for future happiness. The timeless wisdom of life lessons from the elderly reminds us that true companionship blossoms only when both hearts are whole, nourished by years of lived experiences and ready to appreciate the beauty of shared adventures. In this calm, supportive space, let the soft sounds of uplifting music and soothing visuals remind you that every new connection is an opportunity for joy and inspiration. Even if the path ahead seems uncertain, trust that each small, thoughtful step brings you closer to a future filled with the promise of genuine, heartfelt relationships. Embrace the gentle rhythm of life as it unfolds, knowing that every encounter, every kind gesture, and every moment of shared understanding is a beacon of hope, lighting the way to renewed love and connection. If you're still watching this video and find these insights helpful, please leave a comment with number 4 to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and click the bell to stay updated on our future videos. Your support allows us to continue sharing thoughtful content that informs and inspires. Thank you for being with us on this journey. Number 5. Holding on to every possession without letting go. One of the most delicate challenges after losing a spouse is managing the belongings that once defined a shared life. Every item, from a cherished piece of jewelry to a favorite armchair, carries a wealth of memories that tell the story of a love once vibrant and enduring. The idea of parting with these tangible reminders can feel like a betrayal of the past, as if you are discarding pieces of your heart that still hold deep meaning. Yet, holding on to every possession without the freedom to let go can sometimes keep you anchored in sorrow, preventing new joyful experiences from emerging. Embracing change, even when it seems painful, allows you to honor your shared history while opening the door to future moments filled with hope and gentle transformation. Consider Harold's journey. At 76, he held on tightly to every object that had once belonged to his wife: her shoes by the door, her neatly arranged clothes, and the chair where she often sat. At first, these items brought him comfort and a sense of continuity in the face of overwhelming loss. But as time went on, Harold found that the unchanging environment began to weigh him down emotionally, trapping him in a cycle of constant remembrance without room for healing. With gentle encouragement and a desire to create space for new memories, he slowly began donating some items, while keeping only those few that held deep meaning. Through this gradual process, he discovered that each donation was not an act of forgetting, but rather a celebration of life's evolving journey, honoring the past without letting it define his everyday. The art of letting go is not about forgetting. It's about making space for life's continued evolution. It's about preserving the memories that bring you joy while inviting new experiences and emotions into your home. This balance is a recurring theme in many life lessons from the elderly, a reminder that every cherished memory can coexist with a hopeful, vibrant future. When you learn to release the weight of material attachments, you open your heart to the endless possibilities that tomorrow holds. Each act of letting go becomes a gentle step towards self-discovery and a harmonious, ever-changing journey of renewal. As you reflect on your own journey, consider this question: how can you honor the legacy of the past while creating room for new, uplifting experiences? The answer might lie in carefully choosing which possessions serve as gentle reminders of your history and which ones you're ready to pass on. Perhaps turning an old scarf into a decorative piece, or compiling treasured letters into a beautiful keepsake, can serve as a bridge between the past and the future, connecting what was with what is yet to be. By thoughtfully curating your belongings, you transform physical mementos into meaningful symbols of both remembrance and hope, inviting fresh inspiration into your everyday life. Let these thoughtful acts become a celebration of life, an acknowledgement that while memories are precious, the capacity to create new joyful moments is what truly sustains us. Here, in our calm and nurturing community, we embrace the gentle balance of remembrance and renewal, guided always by the soothing rhythms of life lessons from the elderly. Each deliberate act of release and remembrance is a tribute to the enduring human spirit, a beacon that reminds us how renewal and hope blossom from honoring the past while cherishing every new day as an invaluable gift. Final thoughts. Losing a spouse is one of life's most profound and painful experiences. It changes everything: the way you live, the way you think, and even the way you see the future. In the midst of grief, every decision you make has the power to either help or hinder your healing. That's why saying no to these 5 things, rushing financial decisions, isolating yourself, neglecting your health, jumping into a new relationship too soon, and holding on to everything without allowing for change, can make a significant difference in your ability to move forward with strength and clarity. For many of us who have journeyed through decades of life, we know that grief does not come with a timeline. There is no right or wrong way to process loss. However, by avoiding common pitfalls, we can navigate this difficult chapter while protecting our hearts and our futures. Healing does not mean forgetting, and moving forward does not mean leaving your spouse behind. Instead, it means honoring their memory in a way that allows you to continue living with purpose, peace, and even joy in the moments that still await you. In our long and varied lives, we have learned that each experience, joyful or sorrowful, carries with it important lessons. The wisdom that comes with age teaches us the value of patience, the strength of connection, and the beauty of self-care. These are the life lessons that many of us hold dear, the gentle reminder that every day is an opportunity to embrace life anew, to treasure memories without being trapped by them, and to open our hearts to the small joys that make our remaining journey worthwhile. What stood out to you the most? Which of these insights resonates with your own journey and the lessons you've gathered over the years? We would love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below to share one lesson you have learned and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your reflections not only honor your experience, but also inspire others walking a similar path. If you found this message uplifting and helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Your support encourages us to continue creating content that informs, comforts, and inspires. Thank you for watching, and may your journey ahead be filled with wisdom, grace, and the peace that comes from a life well lived. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.